welcome to a very special episode of Gamestack Podcast. We're here today along with our friends at ASAPodcasting. So we have... I'm sorry, guys. What are you doing there?
He's breaking the fourth wall already.
Yeah, it's fine.
Goodness. Vendortron, get it together, buddy.
Bro.
I'm sorry, it's just this is all, it's crooked.
So if you are joining us live today, you will notice that we are not at our usual home of twitch.tv/WeJustLoveGames. Instead, we are coming at you live from youtube.com/ASAPodcasting. And we're very glad to do it because this is ASAPodcasting's 12-hour cystic fibrosis charity live stream.
Indeed.
So we are bringing you a special episode of GameStack, episode 4.5. Vendortron, do you want to tell us a little bit more about what cystic fibrosis is?
Yeah, so I'm sure that the folks here on ASA Podcasting have already talked about the cystic fibrosis and all of the burden that is caused to people with cystic fibrosis. But for those lovely listeners who are active within the We Just Love Games community, who have traveled all the way over here to ASA Podcasting, and are unfamiliar with cystic fibrosis, it is a progressive genetic disease that causes persistent lung infections and limits the ability for people to breathe effectively. More than 30,000 people are currently living with cystic fibrosis, and more than 70,000 worldwide, with 1,000 new cases diagnosed each year. So if you would like to contribute to the cause and learn more about cystic fibrosis, you can go to www.cff.org. And we encourage you to donate to the cause and the reason why we're all here today by going to asapodcasting.com and hitting the donate button, or you can visit PayPal and send in a donation to asapodcasting@gmail.com.
Indeed, fantastic. Go ahead.
And yeah, to add on top of that, my cousin had cystic fibrosis, and I say had because it wasn't curable. She passed away at like the age of 21 from complications due to cystic fibrosis.
That's terrible.
Now, I've got to say that when she was born in the 90s, there was, I think, a life expectancy of maybe 15 or 16. And so it wasn't very good. And then as the years went on, because people like our listeners were donating money to CFF, places like CFF, that age has been extended past it, up into the 20s. I'm not even sure where it's at now, to where, people can at least, enjoy some modicum of normality with that disease. Now, so it's if you can donate money, it helps to find a cure, or at least to alleviate those symptoms and help people live their lives fuller and longer. So.
And I would also like to add to that by saying that your donations, sometimes they go directly to people affected by cystic fibrosis. Other times they will go directly into funded agencies for sponsored research programs for cystic fibrosis. And I know this because I'm a researcher myself. That is my profession. And we depend widely on public interest and public contributions to supporting research to finding cures for diseases like cystic fibrosis. So every little bit helps in every way or form.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Awesome.
And also, just to let you guys know, they're doing some giveaways at ASA Podcasting for this. Every $5 that you donate gets you an entry to win one of several fabulous prize packs, including a Skyrim Switch pack, a Skyrim pack, a Fallout pack. So you can donate to this really worthwhile cause and also maybe win some great stuff. They're also doing giveaways of artwork and some other things. You can check that out at asapodcasting.com.
Nice.
Now, shall we make a podcast, you guys?
Let's make a podcast.
Let's
All
do
right.
it.
We've got some news and gameplay for you. This is a somewhat shorter episode. So we won't be going into the challenges. We'll cover that in episode 5. But let's roll on in to the news. Ubisoft is doing some giveaways. Rick, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, right now, if you sign up for, let's see, I think it's, yeah, you can get Watch Dogs for free on PC right now. And I'm trying to figure out, no, the other thing is if you go to freetrial.ubisoft.com, you can get 3 of their games on a trial. And I was just Googling it real quick just to make sure I had everything right. So like Tom Clancy's The Division, For Honor, and Ghost Recon Wildlands, you can get trials when you go there and you sign up to play those games via Uplay, at least for PC. It's also a free trial for PlayStation and Xbox for Ghost Recon, For Honor, and The Division is only PC. So Watch Dogs, if you register for Uplay, you get Watch Dogs for free. I haven't had a chance to sit down and play it. I know I was looking forward to that game when it first came out. And I just got distracted because I was playing Wildlands free trial because I really, really like that game, you guys. So if you go to freetrial.ubisoft.com, you can pick one of those 4 games to play. And like I said, the Wildlands, The Division, and For Honor are trials, and Watch Dogs is free at the moment.
Cool.
So I'm not sure how long that lasts, so get on it.
Great. And back to the donation thing. I just wanted to let everybody know that if you're listening to this on YouTube later or on the audio version later on, it's not too late to join in and donate to this worthwhile cause. So you can still come and donate even if you're listening to the recording later. You don't have to be here live. So
Indeed.
Yes, it's never too late.
Yeah, it's not like there's a 12-hour window to contribute to cystic fibrosis research and people affected by cystic fibrosis.
Absolutely. It's a disease that continues to affect people every moment of their lives, and you can continue to support this cause. So, guys, you know what I would really like right now?
What?
Like a relaxing, like a scented candle would just be amazing right now, you guys.
With a sitar?
I've been so stressed out, and I could absolutely use just like a nice scented candle, some sitar music. It would be amazing. And we actually can buy a scented candle with the smell of Skyrim and the smell of Fallout.
What?
I'm a little confused.
That's a real thing. That is a real thing, guys.
Wow,
That's a real
that
thing.
is a stretch if ever there was one.
Mm-hmm. A company called Numbskull has made officially licensed Fallout 4 and Skyrim VR candles. They are an officially licensed Bethesda product. The Fallout 4 one says it is a nuclear decay scented candle in a metallic case with a lid.
I was just going to say, is it like strontium 129 scented or something?
Yeah. It smells of decay. So
that's excellent. I can't wait to have my house smelling of the aroma of nuclear waste.
Mine already does, frankly. I mean,
well, I mean, pretty soon Bed Bath and Beyond will be selling it, and
right.
You know, what's the Body Shop? Body Shop will have their
Body Shop
zombie scented candles.
Oh, just rotting flesh.
Yeah. I have bought a lot of dumb Fallout merch over the years, you guys, but I cannot believe that this is a thing that exists.
Are you really surprised though?
I am not surprised. Not in the least.
So guys, let me just let you know, we have a special guest with us right now.
We do?
Say hello. We do. I know, right? I know.
Is it my chair?
Rick, fix your hair. I'm gonna.
I'd like you to meet Jeremy from ASA Game Talk, who is one of ASA Podcasting's podcast hosts, and he is a cystic fibrosis patient.
Oh, fantastic! Welcome, Jeremy.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's a great word to say. How you doing, Jeremy? Where is he?
Oh, audio issues.
Okay, audio problems.
No!
Well, hello, Jeremy. Let us know. Let us know if you get on. So I've spent all my money, right, on scented candles. I don't have money for video games anymore because I've spent it all on scented candles.
Scented candles that smell like nuclear waste.
Fortunately, there is a new program, the Sonne Rewards program, in which we can now start trading in PSN trophies for money on our PSN account. Yeah, that's a thing. So,
That's a bit nutty.
yeah. This is a new program, and for every 100 silver trophies, or 100 points, 1 point per trophy, 25 gold trophies for 250 points, or 10 platinum trophies for 1,000 points. And 1,000 points gets you a $10 PlayStation Network voucher. So you platinum 10 games, and you can buy like a little indie game for $10.
That's silly.
I think so too.
That is very silly.
I think so too.
What is happening out there?
I feel like I've been saying this word. Whenever something happens that's bad, I always say "blomp." I don't know why, but "blomp" just sounds like a game fail kind of sound.
Yeah.
And that's the gaming industry at large nowadays. Like everything's just blomping around. Like EA, everything they do, blomp. I don't know. It's my own thing. I'm weird. Haven't we figured this out by now?
Well, speaking of EA, that brings us right to our next segment, Rick.
want to segue this.
What an incredible segue. You're killing it, man.
They don't deserve a segue.
Everyone deserves a segue when they are in a Gamestack episode, guys.
EA bought Respawn, you guys.
This is
R.I.P.
a big Titan
Respawn.
fail.
Okay, maybe I take
That
back
was a good
segue.
one. That was
Thank
a good
you.
one.
Thank you.
EA bought Respawn, the developers of Titanfall, and they are working on a Star Wars game. And there's been a bit of scuttlebutt. I know, right? I know.
This isn't. Are we gonna have yet another? This is like what, the third Star Wars game fiasco, and like that's happened in the last 2 months.
Don't you know this was a gut punch for the guys at Visceral? Like, oh hey, we're
Yeah,
canceling
I
your
did
Star
read
Wars
about that.
game, and you know we're gonna shut down your studio. But hey,
Don't
we just
worry.
bought Respawn. They're working on a Star Wars game. We're gonna be fine.
good.
Don't worry about
Yeah.
us, you guys. And there has been some scuttlebutt that part of the reason why Visceral was shuttered was because Respawn's Star Wars game just looked so much better and was coming together a lot better.
I don't.
So,
I mean, could you imagine, like, manufacturer? Just for some reason, my mind clicked back to World War II. Like they've got 2 boats, like 2 big warships, and one of them just looks better. They're like, we'll sink the second one. We don't need it. This one looks better. Sink the second one. Like, what logic is that?
Exactly.
Like, I feel also like EA, like they set their name up to like describe their business. It's like, so what do you guys do at EA?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. We have a lot of lunch breaks.
How's business?
So, guys, just join us for Gamestack episode 54 when we report about the shuttering of Respawn.
Yeah.
No, that'll be episode 6.
Right?
Goodness.
So do we have our special guests with us yet?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think I'm here. I'm not
Hey! Okay.
I am a team. I'm not Team Tanya, but
So,
I'm
guys,
not sure.
let me introduce Michael, who is the podfather of ASA podcasting.
You are not the podfather.
Yes.
The Podfather's pleased.
It's a very interesting nickname. You know what's funny? Rick and I were actually in Baltimore the same day a few weeks ago.
What?
I was in Baltimore for Baltimore Comic-Con. And
Oh,
you
what
were
was I
working
down
or
there for?
something, or you were working a radio show or something.
That's
Oh, I must have been down there for the not the Gloria All Red run.
Stay
it was-
right there. I saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're all red run.
Everyone's
be
just in
huge.
red business suits. No, I think I was down there for the breast cancer awareness 5K that they were doing down at the fort.
You were there, but not running.
No. Dude, it was weird, man. They were like, "All right, go," and everyone left, and then I'm sitting there with the radio station crew, and like 15 minutes later, I see people looking all winded coming back, and I'm like, "Are they done? Like 5K in 15 minutes?"
Oh
no,
yeah.
no, that's not possible.
I was,
minutes?
that was crazy. I was like, you guys are like superhuman.
No, my
I'm
best
subhuman.
time is like 26 minutes.
Oh,
So 15 minutes, that's bionic.
I think it was 18
I could do
minutes.
5K in 15 minutes in a car, maybe.
Wendy in the chat. Hi, she hasn't seen me since Falling Off the Record, and I do have hair now. Hiya, Wendy.
Yeah, yeah. Rick does indeed have hair. He is with us for Gamestack. We do this every 2 weeks, and on the off weeks, we do a video game stream. So,
Last night it was carrying these two plebs through Guild Wars.
it was pretty fun.
Yeah, that was chaos.
It was great. It was
It
great.
was chaos.
It was great.
So, shall we roll along with our news, guys?
Yeah.
Well, real quick,
Go ahead.
Mike, I was curious. How was Baltimore Comic Con?
It was great. I actually didn't go into the con. But I had friends I had met up with. A couple of people who have comics and stuff like that, and some comics podcasts. So I kind of shot down for the day because I'm right outside of Philly. So I just took the train down for the day. And,
Cool.
Hung out overnight, and it was a good time though. It was very enjoyable.
Cool. Well, all
If
right.
you're in the future, check out the end of the Bleeping World, which will be coming to Netflix. It was in the UK recently. Chuck Forsman, good dude. He had a graphic novel that they made into a TV show on Channel 4 in the UK.
Oh, cool.
Wow,
That's
What
really
was that called
neat.
again?
The end of the effing world. But
They made that into a show?
there's a lot of asterisks in it. Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like that's going to be like a hope-giving.
Oh, it's
Light.
very hopeful. Yeah. If you're looking for something uplifting, I would say
Jeez.
it'll fit right in line with like Fallout and stuff.
Yeah, all it is every single episode EA requires some other game company.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I'm not upset about it at all, guys. EA, not at all.
I can't.
Goodness.
Just can't. Now when I hear EA, I'm like,
Have you guys seen that comic where it shows like the EA leading the little studios out to this pit of corpses?
Yes. Yeah, somebody posted that on our Facebook channel.
their new slogan should be EA, it's not in the game. 'Cause
Oh,
back in the
man.
90s, I think every sports game that they had was EA, it's in the game.
game.
I
Yeah.
just maybe
They
it'll
were
go
great.
well. This will be the
They were
time,
great.
guys.
EA games were something you could always trust. Like, yeah, like they were games like Need for Speed, and you knew like Need for Speed 2, they went out and they modeled, like they went out and got recordings of the car engines to like put
Yeah.
in the game, and like it
Uh-huh.
just, they did good work. And then at some point someone's like, hey, what's this green stuff here? Oh, I think that's money. And then ever since then it was just like money.
I think we see this a lot with gaming companies with two possible things, either by themselves or in combination, and that is one, they change management,
Mm-hmm.
or two, they get bought out by another developer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, Bethesda's getting dangerously close to that kind of status.
I
With their whole-
feel like Bethesda would be the one that would buy out another company.
But no, well, they have. I mean, id and things like that. I just mean like with re-releasing re-releases for re-releasing is like
Oh.
getting real close to like you kind of
And
Kinda
candles.
you're kind
Yeah.
of beating the corpse of a dead horse here.
That said, though, I'm totally buying Skyrim for Switch.
Yeah, I have it pre-ordered. I gotta admit.
This is why they do it.
This is why. This is why.
Guilty.
Man,
Yeah.
sound like a-
I can't
Okay.
decide. I can't decide if I want to like pre-order Amazon, but I'll be in Albuquerque on the 17th, so I may just try and stop by a GameStop and get it there.
Oh,
Albuquerque.
I totally get out of my head, Rick. Gosh.
It's Looney Tunes screwed us up.
Indeed.
So you guys have heard of VR? You think it's pretty neat concept, yes?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, VR has been an emerging technology, particularly for gamers. And if you're a gamer who has a VR unit, you'll be interested in this next story. And well, if you aren't sold on VR yet, you might be now. So NASA is allowing virtual access to the Eyes of Curiosity on Mars. For the first time ever, VR access to the Mars Curiosity rover will be accessible through the Access Mars website.
That is so cool.
Isn't that fantastic? NASA officials say users also can visit 4 sites that have been critical to NASA's Mars Science Laboratory mission: Curiosity's landing site, Murray Buttes, Maria's Pass, and Pahrump Hills. Additionally, the rover's last location on Lower Mount Sharp will be periodically updated to reflect the mission's ongoing process. So, what is so funny?
Pahrump Hills. I didn't get a Pahrump out of you.
I know. Believe me, when I was typing this out, I was like, really? Where do they come up with these names?
You've never been to Pahrump?
Well, my mind
there is a Pahrump in Nevada.
Really?
Oh.
Yes, it's
focused.
Do you remember Art Bell from Coast to Coast AM, that crazy radio show?
No.
Well, Pahrump is like a desert town in the middle of nowhere, about
Of course it would be.
80 miles outside of Las Vegas.
Goodness.
It might be in New Vegas, actually.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm Canadian, so I don't know these things, but anyone with a VR or AR headset can follow Curiosity's movements across the red planet. Right now, it is a limited view of what our little spacefaring robot has experienced since landing on Mars. However, NASA feels that this is a gesture of goodwill to the world, and given the current political climate, an attempt to show the importance of space exploration programs like this one. So I think that that's just fantastic, and I think it's a very innovative alternative use to VR technology other than just for video games.
Yeah, I'm glad it's not something like Brazzers introduces VR. That it's actually like space related. I'm imagining like you like put on your headset, you turn it on, and as you're like looking for the first time, out from the side of the screen walks Neil deGrasse Tyson. Hi, I'm Neil deGrasse on Mars. And it's like, you're everywhere.
Get off the planet.
And Bill Nye's just peeking out from behind a rock.
Yeah. I almost thought you said Bill Cosby there.
Applicable, but in a way different sense.
Wow. Didn't take long for this show to go right off the rails.
I think that do you guys think that this is something that we could see live eventually?
Well, yeah.
Of
why
course.
wouldn't?
Like, because right now it's very limited. Like, you only have access through the VR headset of what's archived.
Well, I mean, you got to think of it this way. Like, we can barely get internet to the entire globe that we currently inhabit.
Mm-hmm.
So getting bandwidth to Mars is almost, it's a tough thing. So
what if the Curiosity is like a giant conspiracy for Google to map Mars?
It's just a Google Prius.
It's just a sophisticated Prius wandering across the red desert. Oh, goodness.
Oh man, you guys. That's incredible.
Well, speaking of interplanetary exploration, I'd like to talk about No Man's Sky a little bit more.
Let's do it.
This is a game that has reoccurred its presence frequently on our news feed here on Gamestack Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And as you guys know, No Man's Sky has beefed up their capacity for base building in the latest update. And
there was a new update.
I'm talking about the latest update, not the new. I don't think there's a new update. This is the Ascendant Rises or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
Atlas Rises.
Atlas Rises. Yep.
Yeah,
okay. I know.
Well, YouTube
Got me all excited.
Yeah, YouTuber Boyd Gaming has taken it upon himself to leave a trail of unique breadcrumbs of intergalactic fast food restaurants in No Man's Sky.
That is fantastic.
I am dead serious.
This is the most American thing that has ever happened.
I'm kind of sad about that now.
Why?
Well, I mean, like that's our legacy, right?
Mhm.
Fast food restaurants?
That's what Shaline just said.
Oh yeah,
No.
How do you know the
the
United States has been there?
McDonald's at the
Look at
Forbidden
McDonald's.
City.
Yeah, Pizza Hut. Everything from McDonald's to KFC, Subway, Taco Bell, you name it, even including various brands like a giant Pepsi can
That is hilarious.
and the Nike symbol. It's super cool. If you guys haven't checked it out, you should look at it on YouTube. It's totally awesome. He does a full like flyover of each location and it shows you all the details, and the level of artistry is just amazing here. This gamer goes beyond conventional detail.
That's
And
amazing.
you know, gone are the days of derping around like this in video games for myself, but I commend gamers like Boyd Gaming that they take it upon themselves to employ their creative side and exploit the game like this for others to enjoy. So yeah.
What a
That-
sense of humor there.
That reminds me of like I linked it to you guys in Discord, but there's a video of a guy who built like a defense tower in Fallout, and it just like that stuff. The fast food restaurants or like the crazy defense tower in the Fallout games, just like we forget so quickly how much opportunity these games give us to play.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And we get so bent up and upset about one, little problem. And it's just like, there's this whole robust world that if we just like, had, let go of our let go of our like whatever's, hang-ups. It's so creative that what the tools that they've given us in these worlds.
Yeah. And I love when people go beyond the game to do things like this. I think that's what really speaks volumes to the capabilities of a video game. And I think we started to first see that when we had, the base building in Fallout 4. People got so innovative. They started, building all kinds of things. It's where some of the challenges that you guys came up with were so great. So
Yeah. Like making people fight each other.
yeah,
Hmm.
I had so much fun building that arena.
That was a good time. That's one of my favorite things that we did for a challenge. I still go and revisit my Thunderdome sometimes and like stage fights.
My arena is like a shell, like the Olympics had showed up to Sanctuary and then they just pieced out and there was just like chairs left and garbage everywhere.
So you pulled like a Russia. Was it Russia that? No, was it Brazil that had like a really
Brazil, yeah, with the algae. Yeah.
I put a bunch of chairs on top of these wrecked out buses, like for the stands,
The
basically.
spectators.
And that's the only chairs in the settlement. So when I hit the quitting time bell, they all come to the chairs to sit down. So I have this big crowd for my fights. It's so fun.
Oh man.
That's amazing.
Did you guys ever have that thing where like when supper time hits or like evening hits, all of your villagers or your settlers go to the restaurant or the bar that you've built in your settlement?
I never noticed any correlation between time and laziness in that game. I just
This-
figured it was kind of random.
I kid you not. And I have sat for at least a half an hour to wait for the Fallout clock to hit evening. And I have watched all of my settlers in Sanctuary go to this bar that I built.
Oh my goodness.
And
That
I
is
don't know why
amazing.
I don't know why it's happening. I can't explain it. But everybody, when it's quitting time, everybody just heads off to this bar. It's fantastic. I don't know. I can't explain it.
Because it's quitting time.
Yeah, it's quitting time.
That is so great.
Anyways, my last story is about Sea of Thieves. Are you guys familiar with Sea of Thieves?
The pirate
A little
one,
bit.
right?
Yeah. This is the cartoonish type. It's like a co-op MMO kind of thing. Anyways, Microsoft has confirmed that Sea of Thieves will release in 2017. Although I'm a little bit skeptical about this because it's November, so they have about 6 months left. So chop chop.
Way to not be demanding.
Yeah. They've also confirmed that it will be part of their Play Anywhere program. This is a Microsoft program which features crossplay between Xbox One and PC.
Right. I can't wait to see all the glitches with that.
Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Sea of Thieves is more of a co-op online than anything else, as you rely on your shipmates and swashbucklers to keep the ship afloat. So I'm thinking if we can play PUBG, we can probably make it through this game. No?
I think this sounds amazing. I think it would be fun times.
Could you imagine the three of us running the? I mean, for those of us that have watched the first stream where Vendortron and Shaline were playing PUBG with me, and then last night with the Guild Wars thing. At least in this game, we would be starting fresh, all of us at the equal level of like not knowing what in the heck we're supposed to be doing.
Right?
Let's face it, though. Like, you would still have to be the dad. Like, we know that going in, right?
Yeah. Rick will be like, tie a 12 knot, and we'll be like, what's a 12 knot?
Vendortron's gonna be like hunting for sharks. Like, you'll see him riding by on a pair of dolphins, and I'm over there like, does the red sash or the black sash?
Shalene's painting the ship. She's painting the side of the ship red or something.
He's setting up a tea set in the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember? Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, at the end of the day, I really just want to walk the plank and hunt for buried treasure.
It's gonna be amazing.
Do you remember the scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where the British admiral is walking down the stairs in slow motion while the whole ship is blowing up around him? And like as soon as he gets down to the bottom, the whole thing blows up.
Yeah,
right.
I think I remember this. Yeah.
I feel like that would be me on the ship. While you guys are like doing the sash and T-set thing, I'm just kind of walking along it, and there's just cannonballs and shrapnel. Like, how did I get here?
Oh, yes.
I tried to fight, but there's just.
I'm curious to see what the outfits and the hats are going to look like in this game, and if you
yeah.
can get that white hair with the curls on the side. The very,
oh
like,
my gosh,
colonial...
that would be so incredible! Like
Right?
Button's wig from Fallout 3.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
It's starting already. We haven't even played it.
I know, but we're gonna play it, right? Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be so cute. Oh yes, yes. I'm looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to it too. But
so
that's
what we're gonna play someday.
Yeah,
someday.
We'll add that to the
what
stack.
have we been playing? What have we been playing, Rick? Why don't you talk about the games you've been playing?
I have been playing a ton of Guild Wars. I'm gearing my character up to do some raiding, hopefully soon. But I've also been playing Ghost Recon Wildlands, and I know everyone hates that game for some reason.
Why?
I love that game, and I don't want to like it, but I love it. I love it. It's fun to get in a helicopter, land outside of an enemy base, sneak in, and kill everybody. Try to do it silently, but usually me or my AI screws it up. Mainly me. But it's so much fun just to play because it's like tactical, but at the same time it's like The Division, but headshots count. As like one hit kills and stuff like that. So it's been a lot of fun, and it is a beautiful game. I know Ubisoft gets a lot of flack for things and that they rushed, and the AI was a bit derpy because it is, and regroup, guys, and then they kind of run past the enemies, which is a no-no in a secretive game because you're not supposed to run past the guy you're hiding from. But I guess they haven't figured that out yet.
Which is what Shaline and I do in PUBG all the time.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, but I hear Shaline had a very good PUBG evening last night.
I sure did. It was amazing.
Yes.
We're gonna talk about that when you're done.
Yeah. So. I mean, but here's the thing, and I think why I'm not going to buy Ghost Recon Wildlands is because every time I start to play it, either someone invites me to a PUBG match and I go to play it, or someone asks, like, let's go do Fractals and Guild Wars, and then I switch to Guild Wars. Like, there's nothing that keeps me in that game. Now, say if you two were playing it, or if I had other people to play it with, that'd probably be a different story. But I always find myself leaving the game to go play something else.
Right.
And for me, that's not worth the $60 price tag on Wildlands. Now, that being said, very fun game, very good. And if you're into the Division type sort of thing, it's perfect for that. But you know, I want so bad a tactical game to play. Like there's been such an absence of tactical video games. It sucks for people like me. Like in the early 2000s, it was like plethora of like Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon and SWAT 2 and 3 and 4 from Sierra Games and a plethora of tactical video games. And like now there's none. I mean, maybe you have some RTS games here and there, but it's just I'm missing it. It sucks. So, but that's what I've been playing: Guild Wars, PUBG, and a little bit of Ghost Recon sprinkled on top. Sprinkles.
Well, that's fantastic. I have also been playing some Guild Wars.
Yeah, true.
If you guys haven't caught last night's Let's Play of Gamestack, Shaline, myself, and Rick played Guild Wars for 2 hours. It was amazing. That game is incredible.
It was really fun.
I am really surprised how nice it is, given that it was made in 2012. I was expecting it to be a very GoldenEye, Squarehead sort of thing. But it was really nice. Yeah, it was a really nice experience. My favorite part was the shrinking Alice in Wonderland mushrooms.
That was so fun. It made us tiny.
I like being a tiny person.
And then we rolled into a boss fight as tiny people.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Rick is like, what are you doing?
Yeah, watch out, guys. We're packing heat, and we're like 2.5 feet tall.
It's amazing. We were like the brownies from Willow.
Victor in the chat, we do have to make a clarification. We were playing Guild Wars 2, not Guild Wars, because there's the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah.
So we were playing Guild Wars 2, not Guild Wars. Completely different, way different games.
Yeah. I was overall impressed with the graphics. I also really liked the lore behind it was incredibly deep.
Oh, it's so deep.
Everybody has a different story and a different problem, and they need your help, and it's just I could find myself getting lost for hours playing that game.
It's definitely a game that motivates you to continue playing. Like as soon as you finish something, you have a new task.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I also did play some PUBG last night. Quite successfully, I might add. I got 1 kill.
Nice.
Actually, no, I got 3 kills. Did I not, Shaline?
I think you got more than 1, for sure.
Yeah, I got 2 in one of our first rounds.
Yes.
And then I got 1 in one of our final rounds. But that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. We the time before that I played PUBG with Steamer, which is one of our listeners on Gamestack. It was just him and I playing, and we ended up being the second last team to go, and him and I were held up on this grassy knoll and fighting off guys coming up the hill. It was pretty awesome. And then I moved down to a bush, but then a guy picked me off. But last night we played just fantastic rounds, and each round, I might add, was quite difficult because it seemed like every time we dropped into an area, there was at least 2 or 3 other players that we were going to have to face, and we knew we were going to have to face them. So as soon as we dropped in, we were looting like crazy, and every time I went to loot, it would either be a pistol or a frying pan.
Well, what more do you need in PUBG?
Oh, it's terrible. And then I'd be like, oh man, Shaline, I can't find anything. Did you get any luck? And she's like, well, let's see. I got an AKM, I got an M16, I've got 300 rounds of 7.62, I've got some 5.62s, I have a frying pan, a level 3 vest, a level 2 backpack. I'm like, geez.
Nice.
Yeah. But I think the coolest kill for me was, what was it? There was a guy. Shaline was in the Harry Potter house, as we like to call it, the 3-level crazy, and she was on the top floor, and this guy came up on us, and we were looting, and each of us were in a different house, which is a good tactic, I might add, because if somebody comes into the house, only one of us is going to die. Maybe.
That's
So,
true. There's a big maybe
so two of them went into the house. Shaline killed one of them.
Yes,
And
okay.
then-
So let me tell you about this. Okay. So I'm walking up these stairs, right? All happy,
To
just
the third
walking up the
floor.
stairs to the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
And there's a guy on the stairs, and I think it's Vendortron. And we're looking at each other. And I realize there's no name above his head. And he doesn't shoot me. He's just standing there. And I realize it's not Vendortron. So I shoot him to death.
Oh man. I think that those two guys were probably younger players because his buddy that killed you, Steamer threw a grenade through the top floor window. And I was on the 2nd floor at the time. And it went off, and I moved to the stairs going up to the 3rd floor, and this guy came down and stopped at the landing, and he was right there. And I just opened up my I think I had a micro Uzi or something like that. But for a few seconds there, we both just kind of stopped and looked at each other.
Right.
And I was like, this is weird. I'm going to kill you. And then I just like opened up a fire and killed him. But it was pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome.
When the friend killed me, I was so surprised and I screamed like a little girl.
Here's couple questions. So Vendor, you said you were in the 2nd floor and Steamer threw a grenade through the 2nd floor window?
3rd floor window.
Okay, gotcha. I was like, how do you guys survive and make kills when Shalene's staring at enemies for a while and you're throwing grenades at each other? But okay,
he threw it in the 3rd floor because there was still another guy up there. And then
I see what you're saying there.
Yeah, and I was on the 2nd floor at the time, so I thought I was gonna die, but I didn't.
Okay.
Blew out all the windows, but
I just got confused because you're like, I'm on the 2nd floor. He threw from the top floor window. I was thinking 2nd floor house.
Yeah, it was a 3-story house.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like it always seems to work out where like, it's like one of those movies where like the rough and tumble sergeant always gets killed first, and like everyone else kind of survives because like that's what happens a lot. Like I die a lot in these games. And then you guys are left, and it's so much fun playing with you guys, and especially to watch you guys get really good.
Well, it's fun because I think that we look at it at a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
Because you've played so many of these combat-based video games, so you think tactically.
Right.
And I there's no other softer way for me to put that makes Shaline and I look bad.
No, it's funny. I think everyone expects people to be tactical, and then when like you guys are just like not being tactical, it throws them off guard. Maybe that's why the guy didn't shoot you, because he's like, why am I being stared at?
I know, and I feel like every time I play PUBG, I'm like Mr. Magoo. Or like Inspector Gadget, just walking through a field of mines and not dying at all,
That's amazing.
Or bending over to pick up some shoes and a bullet goes by my head or something.
Exactly.
Professor Clouseau.
Yes.
Inspector Clouseau.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was great. We had such a good round of PUBG last night. There was one round.
I think the best death was that shot, Shaline, that you took to the head in our final round. I was going through the grass, and this guy came up behind me and killed me.
Oh.
And Shaline had a S12, which is the best gun ever. Love that gun. And this guy that killed me, she was looking for him, and out of nowhere, it was like, and she was dead.
I found the guy that killed you.
Yeah, but he killed you.
No, I killed him. I killed that guy.
Oh, it was another guy.
I killed that guy. It was another guy. So he was also prone in the grass, the guy who killed you. And I was crawling kind of your direction, and I killed him with 2 shots from the shotgun.
Nice.
Yes, it was amazing. I was proud of myself.
Yeah. I remember seeing that. Yeah.
And then I started making my way toward the circle because I was outside of the circle, and I died.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was
One
crawling. She was crawling to the circle.
But there was one time, though, that I had gotten kind of separated from Vendor and Steamer, and they were across the street, kind of working their way toward these buildings. And I was behind a tree, and I saw these guys down there, this whole other squad that was like putting fire on them. And
Yeah.
I had a 4x scope on my rifle, and I took out like the whole squad.
It was
Silver
amazing.
platter moment.
I was so proud of myself.
The
It was
gods,
amazing.
the gods of PUBG went here, Shaline.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Kills.
It was like little lights shone down from the heavens on that enemy team, and Shaline just
Yes, I was
Done.
so proud of myself. It was amazing.
Nice. Very
that was
nice.
intense though, because actually that was the round where the circle started moving towards the water,
Right, it went down to the beach.
and everyone was getting pushed to the beach.
Mhm.
And it
Where
was
there's
bad.
no cover
Where
whatsoever.
there was one tree and a truck, and that was it.
It was
And
so
my-
intense.
Yeah, we were coming over a hill, and my worst mistake was I'm gonna try and make it across the road, and I got up on like a low walk, and I booked her across the road, and then I got picked off
Mhm.
because they saw me. So shouldn't have done that.
I really think we were playing with a lot of skilled players that round because the circle was
Yes.
so small and there was still like 24 people left
Wow.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that, like, you know, the guy who won the chicken dinner, like years later will tell his grandson, like, let me tell you about the battle of the truck and the tree. Like
Yeah.
it just sounds like there was one tree and one truck.
Yeah, and we were like,
there I was.
well, do we stay on land or do we go in the water? Like, what do we do? You know, and
Yeah.
and it was like
so
the circle was
fun.
so small that there was one compound, and that whole squad that Shaline took out was at the compound.
That sounds like a
Um,
Charlie Foxtrot of a time.
Oh, it was terrible. It's terrible.
It was really great. It was really great.
Nice.
I guess we're getting to the end here of the program, so I guess I'll save
Ooh.
my Assassin's Creed stories for next week.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Origins. It was
I'm
fun
looking forward to hearing
times.
about it.
Yeah, me too. So I guess I'll save that so we can get out of the way of the next podcast that is up. I believe it is. Let me just have a look. I
I was
believe
gonna
it's.
say what's coming up next.
Let me just have a look. Okay, talk amongst yourselves.
So, Vendor, are you into Assassin's Creed at all? Just kind of.
I want to be in it, but I don't have the time. I had an opportunity for a joke there. I should have took it.
The next
We'll take it.
stream is going to be Mod Talk with Victor Hoyt. So he talks
Excellent.
about
Who's
mods
cool.
for Skyrim and Fallout and all kinds of fabulous things.
Yeah.
After that, Awesome Spaceship with Andrew and Tori. And then the finale is the wrap-up show with Anyone Left Standing. I'm quoting from the website there. So
That's cool. Mod talk. For a second there, I was like, that's kind of a really strange subject to talk about with games, like 1960s mod style from Britain. But then I got it. Like mod. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
I just have pictures of like Ned Flanders' wife on a talk show.
Oh.
Mod Talk. Welcome back
Oh,
to Jesus
goodness.
Loves You.
You
Wasn't
guys, what do I do with you guys?
I'm
You're
thinking-
a mess.
I'm thinking Mod, MAUD. There was an old show like Mod or something. I forget.
You guys
Anyways,
are
Assassin's
just a
Creed
disaster.
Origins. I want to get into it, but I just don't have the time.
Oh, it was literally called Mod, MAUDE. It was a TV show.
It's
Okay,
fantastic, and I'll tell these stories next week so that we can get out of Victor's way and he can do a podcast. So, guys, please donate. Visit asapodcasting.com. Click the donate button. Please support the fight against cystic fibrosis. I clicked the donate button today, and if you can, I hope that you'll join me. And stay tuned for more fabulous shows on today's stream. So,
Awesome.
does anybody have anything else they'd like to say in closing?
Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, just to second that, since our family was affected by cystic fibrosis very closely, please donate. Don't let other families get affected the same way that ours were. So, like, help them out. If anything, please donate.
Yeah, and I also want to add that it's a great privilege to be here.
Mhm.
And I really appreciate ASA Podcasting for the Gamestack invite. it's I hope that this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Indeed. I love these guys. They're good people. So, if you are not a regular Gamestack listener, you can find us at We Just Love Games everywhere. So, check us out, and thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Oh wait, I have the credits lined up. Hang on.